We find it a bit of a mesmerizing thing. We'll be out sitting on the deck, especially late evening or morning when you just catch the bees in the sunlight dropping. You know, they're just buzzing in and out. They're all coming out in the morning, or you're sitting at breakfast watching them buzz out, and you just find people sitting on the deck just staring at them, right? There's a cloud of bees around, and they're just mesmerizing to people. All the little kids in the neighborhood are excited. They all want to come see the honey machine when we're extracting, which I love that name for the extractor. And you know, we'll be over, oh, can we come visit your bees? We want to come visit your bees. It's actually been quite a hit with the neighborhood. Like, everybody thinks it's great. Randy Beaton. I'm a retired computer guy. I used to do computer modeling, and I'm now retired and just enjoying myself. A lady I worked with like 20 years ago, that when she grew up, they had a couple of beehives in their backyard, and she was over for a visit one time and just threw out this comment that, oh, you should throw a couple of beehives in your backyard, you know, it'd be just this place would be so good for them. And well, what do you mean beehives, right? Like, well, you just don't have beehives, do you? He goes, yeah, they're no problem. You know, and then she went on to the story about when she was growing up, how her dad kept a couple. And that's the thing that sort of always in the back of my head, it planted the seed. I've had this in the back. Oh, it'd be sort of neat to have beehives in the backyard. And we got a huge backyard, so okay, let's give it a shot. It was a fun little hobby. And it's not too onerous, but still always interesting and challenging at times, especially this year.
I'm Paul Gordanis, and I am owner of, with my brother, of Gordanis Apiaries. My dad started the bee farm, and he started in Brooks, Alberta, and then moved here in '88. And so I've grown up around bees. I've got pictures of myself with swollen eyes from bee stings. Once I graduated from high school, I pretty much went right into the beekeeping industry. And then about 12 years ago, my dad passed away, and I took it over with my brother, Henry. And we've been running it ever since. We run 8,200 hives, and we produce anywhere from 1 million to 1.5 million pounds per year. The amount of honey that we produce is directly proportional to the amount of hive colonies that have survived during the winter. So keeping our bees healthy is important.
My name is Curtis Miedema, and I'm a beekeeper. I've been working with bees all my life, as long as I can remember. I grew up doing it, so I guess full-time about the last 15 years. But in the early 70s, a couple of my mom's uncles moved here from Holland, and they started a small bee farm, and another brother came over, and then eventually a cousin, and both my mom and dad have worked for those uncles, and that's how they eventually started on their own as well. I have about 10,000 hives, and out of that, about 8,000 of them are producing hives, and 2,000 are replacements. I would say on average we produce about 1.5 million pounds of honey per year.
My name is Ursula Darunia. I'm the president of the company, and I've overseen all day-to-day operations and all CEO kind of job, small business, you do everything. We were a pharmaceutical company, and the only pharmaceuticals we produced were for the honeybee industry. So when I came into the industry in about 2001, and in those days there was no Nosema ceranae in North America. We didn't even know the word. In the early 2000s, so I don't know if it was 2002 or 3 or 4, somewhere around there was a big bee die-off in Spain. They did some very intense research in Spain about why, and they found this Nosema ceranae. So that's when it started. It didn't take very long to come over to North America, maybe 3 years, and it was here. Yeah, and that changed the world again.